أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم محمد بن عبد الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الأرجاس وطهرهم من الأدناس وجعل مودتهم أجرا على الناس ولا سيما على بقية الله في الأرضين الإمام المنتظر صاحب الزمان عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف ابن هداة المهديين وعلى صحبهم الأخيار المنتجبين وعلى جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين والشهداء والمجاهدين في سبيل الله منذ آدم إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، يا أيها الناس أنتم الفقراء إلى الله والله هو الغني الحميد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Holy Quran, O mankind, you are paupers, needy, destitute in front of Allah. It is Allah, He, who is needless and praiseworthy. Salawat ala Muhammad wa Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Tonight's discourse over the next few minutes will require some focus. One, because it's not a very easy concept to grasp. But two, once we grasp this concept, we will be dwelling over it also, inshallah, over the next few nights. And our subjects over the next few nights will be on the background of this concept. That's what? The fact that the vast majority of us, despite having been sent in this life for a mission, for a task, which there is a goal, despite not realizing the goal, being blind to the goal, what it is in fact, no, more than that, we have not realized who we are. Who am I? I don't know really. Because if you ask me, and if you ask many people, perhaps yourselves also, who are you? You ask me, who are you? Who are you? What will I say? Muhammad. Yes, but there are many of them in the world, so define a bit more. So, Muhammad, how do you want me to define? Maybe this many kilograms and this much height? That narrows it down a bit. But there may be hundreds of thousands of that type of people in the world with this name and this physical structure. But who are you? 2 arms, 2 legs, this, and I live at this address. That narrows it down more. Now I've defined who I am. Is that who I am? Hassan, Hussein, Ahmed, Shabir, whatever names we might have. So ask, who are you? Say, I am this. Okay, if that's who you are, tell me. Tomorrow, if you go to the passport office and change your name, legally, have you become something else now? So you are not your name. Tomorrow, if I move house and live somewhere else, have I become something different from what I was yesterday? So I'm not my house. I cannot be defined by my house. Tomorrow I will gain weight. The next day I will lose weight. God forbid, I say 2 hands and 2 legs. God forbid something happens and one arm is severed or amputated. Have I become essentially something different from what I was yesterday? So whilst I continuously make this confusion of mixing up what I am with what I have, I will not realize who I am and therefore what my mission is here in the first place. And because I think I am what I have, when I lose what I have, I think I have become less. A child, you take away the child's toy, will start crying and weeping. And you think this is silly for the child because it is just this useless piece of plastic and I've taken it away. It means nothing. Tomorrow they can get something different or the next day it will break. Why is? Because the egoistic child who doesn't understand has defined its own being by what it has. You take away something it has, it feels it has become. But we laugh at the child, but are we any less? Yes, we don't attach importance to plastic toys, but maybe if I lose a substantial amount of money, I think I have become less than I was, because I am not something different from what I have. Yes, the child loses toys and gains more toys, but becomes happier because it thinks it is increasing in being. So when I move from this to then BA and grow to MA, MSc, oh, it's not enough now, PhD. Now I am becoming more. Why? Because I have more letters after my name. I think I am becoming more because I have confused myself with from what I am to what I have. When I realize that this is nothing, that after I lose everything I have, I am still me, I realize Allah is addressing the real me when He tells me in the Quran, Ya ayyuhan nas, antumul fuqara ila Allah. Mankind, you are poor. No, you have nothing. If I thought I am what I have, Allah is telling me you have nothing. Who is He addressing? There's no one to address. I am not what I have. I am something beyond possession of things. But my ego, which is deceiving myself, tells me you are what you have. When you lose this, you have become something less. And that ego deceives me into this whole concept I have of ownership. I own. How many people here, you don't have to raise your hands if you don't want to, own their own house? Own, not renting, own. One person says, yes, I own my house. Really? Yes, I paid for it and I own it now. Well done, that gives you security, yes. Do you really own it? Yes. What do you own? Well, this house, the rooms, and the back garden, however many feet in the back garden. Okay. Go buy some bricks. Will you own the bricks? Yes, I will, because I bought them, yes. Go to your back garden, which you own? Yes, I own. Now build 3 stories high. Can you? No, I need planning permission. Oh. This illusion of ownership. You think you own, but tomorrow someone will tell you, by High Court judge stamp, you don't own. What happened to your ownership? And I was something, today I am nothing. Ownership is itself, it is a deception and an illusion. This body I think I own, you don't own. Because tomorrow it can go and you will not become something less than what you are. Ownership is itself only Allah. Wallahu huwa al-ghaniyul hamid. It is only Allah who owns.
Yeah.
When I think I own my property, I still need the stamp, title deed from the judge to say, yes, this is your ownership, which still I don't own it, because I can't do as I want with it freely. Allah is Al-Malik, yes or no?
Yes.
Malik means the owner, the sovereign owner. He wants to do something, does he need permission? No. This is Malik. When I say I am Malik of my house, this is not Malik, this is arbitrary. Allah is really Malik. But I need the approval of others to say, yes, you own. If I need the approval of others, does that make my ownership? Or I'm relying on someone else to own? It is not real being Malik. Did Fir'aun not display this to his people? That we have in the Quran, in Surah Zukhruf. And Fir'aun tells his people, وَنَادَى فِرْعَوْنَ Fir'aun called out to his people, فِي قَوْمِهِ قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ أَلَيْسَ لِي مُلْكُ مِصْرَ When Musa is coming to challenge him, and Fir'aun tells the people, oh people, is the kingdom of Egypt not mine? وَهَذِهِ الْأَنْهَارُ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِي And these rivers flowing, are they not mine? أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ Oh people, don't you see? This is all mine.
Pause for a moment. What if all the people... No, it's not yours. What would he do?
Kill them all.
This is not ownership. If every single person says, it is by the consensus of the public I own, like Fir'aun, so all of us have a little bit of Fir'aun in us.
Yeah.
The fact that I think I am something because I have something, tomorrow if he crosses it off, I don't own it anymore, I have become less now. Because my ego tells me you are what you have. If we don't make this distinction, that you are not what you have, you are something beyond this, if we don't make the distinction during this life, then that distinction will come to us eventually. As we said yesterday, we don't know who's standing up from here and walking out the door, and who Malak al-Maut will take his soul before he gets the opportunity to stand up. Maybe the next sentence I won't finish talking, I don't know. When that Malak al-Maut comes and splits me away from everything I own, everything I have, and he's taking something away which is detached of everything else forcibly, he is taking away the real me. Because the real me is empty of everything. All of those possessions are to be left behind, despite this obvious, if I think it's obvious, despite that, when I look at my wardrobe and I see I don't have enough, I'm not telling myself I don't have enough. What I should realize is I'm telling myself I am not enough. Because I have confused what I have with what I am. When I say I don't have enough, I'm saying I am yet not enough. I need to be something more. I'm in a silly way, I'm not satisfied with what I am, that's good. But in my silly way, I'm confusing that with what I have, and so I'm translating that I should have more. That will make me something more. No, Allah has put this in me from my fitrah to be more. It is my ego who has confused this with having more. I need to have more to be more. So you see people who have qana'ah, means contentment with what they have. It is because they have realized that what I have is not what I am. It doesn't define what I am. What am I then, if I am not my things? I am something that Allah has made far greater than things. I'm defining myself with these little things. What? Carpet, house, spouse, children, wealth. I am defining myself using this. Allah is saying, I made you more than this. Allah in Hadith Qudsi tells us that لَمْ يَسَعْنِ سَمَائِي وَلَا أَرْضِي, neither my sky nor my earth could appreciate or hold me. وَوَسَعَنِ قَلْبُ عَبْدِيَ الْمُؤْمِنِ, but the heart of my believing slave encompasses me or can appreciate me. My heart, me, my real being, is something greater than house and everything I own, which I will be detached from, what goes away from this world and what will disintegrate into the earth. You see, someone who even realizes, I can realize this, yes, I am not my house, I am not my clothing, but no, beyond this, even this hand I am moving, this is not me. As we said before, if this is amputated, do I become something else? I said, no, I'm still me, just this less. So even this, when it disintegrates and goes, you see, if we realize this, even this and this is not the reality of me, this is just a vehicle. Then when I look in the mirror, maybe the sisters will understand more. And don't crave for oil of ulay and oil of this too. Look younger, because this being is disintegrating. This is Allah's plan. This vehicle I gave you tomorrow is going to disintegrate. But this is not you. You are something beyond. You think you are just like this as our Mawla Amirul Mu'minin alayhi salam. In his line of poetry, he rebukes mankind in telling them, you have been so silly to think you are this. وَتَزْعَمُ أَنَّكَ جُرْمٌ صَغِيرٌ وَفِيكَ انْطَوَى الْعَالَمُ الْأَكْبَرُ. You think of yourself as this small organism, this speck that dies and lives and has. This is who you are. No, within you is enveloped the greatest kingdom. This is who I am. But my ego, I need to crush this, to realize I am not what I have. I am what I am. I am beyond this, greater than this. So how do I make this detachment then? How do I differentiate what I am, what is different from what I have? How do I do this? How do I detach from house and wealth and beauty and qualifications and all of these things by which I define myself? A great writer, Eckhart Tolle, he suggests in his book that to detach from things is impossible, so don't try to do that. You want to detach from wealth? Said, from tomorrow I need to detach from. He said, don't try to do it, it's impossible. So what's the remedy then? He said, to detach from things is impossible, so don't even try to do that. Except when you realize that you cannot find yourself in that thing, you will become disinterested in it. Look at the child. Give the child a toy. Try to take it away. No, it's mine. And they'll grab onto it because they think they are that toy. Leave them to play. They'll play 1 minute, 2 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. Bring another child who has a bigger toy than this one. They will lose interest in this one. Why? Suddenly they think if I get this one, I will be more. I am not what was in that toy. It comes from the realization that wealth, I am not my wealth. I cannot find myself in my wealth. If I get so much of it or less of it, I don't become different essentially from what Allah created, that being that is a receptacle to appreciate Him. House or no house, I am beyond that. We are also like big kids with our toys. But once we realize that I am beyond what I have, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, and He will test us in some way, maybe give us something or take something away. لِكَيْ لَا تَأْسَوْا عَلَى مَا فَاتَكُمْ وَلَا تَفْرَحُوا بِمَا آتَاكُمْ. That in a way that you do not become depressed over something you lose, because I realize it's not me. Allah gave it to me. Tomorrow He can take it away if it's not good for me. He is the Malik, I am not the Malik. Or He gives me something, I become overjoyed and very happy. I wouldn't, because I realize it is not adding to me. It's just something I have, like this hand. You see, it's easy to think about wealth in that way. It is difficult to think about our own human bodies in that way. Human bodies, even Shaykh. And people respect and people come. This is a piece of cloth on my head and this is a piece of cloth. Maybe the pieces of cloth you are wearing are more expensive than this one. And I am wearing this because you people have approved of me wearing this. And tomorrow you say, we don't want this, you don't deserve this. Where did all Shaykh go? Where did it go? Social status is something I have, not something I am. So all of these subtleties need to be detached, because if I do not, so wealth, qualification is not something I can see, something abstract. Social status is not something I can visualize, something outward. It's not what I am, it's what I have. If I don't detach myself from all of these things now, as there was one old woman, she had advanced cancer and she was going to die, and she had one carer in her house who was working for her and cleaning her house, because she couldn't do these things by herself now. She could only very limited mobility in her house. So a person came to meet her and she was very angry and distressed, and old woman, she has maybe a few weeks left. So why are you so distressed and angry? This worker who is in my house, the ring, gold ring, I always place on this thing. She took it, I know she stole it. She won't admit, but I know she has stolen it. So this visitor was sitting with the old woman. But why are you angry? You don't understand, this was an heirloom in my family for generations. Her mother gave to her mother and comes down to me. Yes, but you have 2 weeks to live. If you don't detach from this ring today, in 2 weeks, you will be detached from the ring. That was an old woman, that was a ring. If I don't detach from this hand and this beautiful face and these clothes and that house and everything, realizing that this is not what I am. What I am is to go forward and progress into what I have is going to stay here. This, my house, my family will take, my money, my children will take, my body, the worms will take. Nothing is coming with me. This is not what I am, this is what I have. As the biblical teaching says, if someone comes and takes your cloak, give him your tunic as well. What does this mean? At the surface, it seems to mean that, give everything away. No, it doesn't mean give everything away. What it means is something much wiser. Someone takes your tunic, give him your garb as well. It means to hold on to these things takes a lot of strength. If someone's trying to pull this away, it takes a lot of strength. It takes much more strength to let it go. You require strength and sternness to keep things. No, you require a lot more strength to let it go. Because that is the realization that this is what I have. This is not what I am. Are we not talking about those people who were ready to give away everything they had because they realized that they are themselves beyond these things? We're not talking about homeland which was left, which was the city of the grandfather. No. Family, wealth, the last drops of water. We spoke yesterday about when the caravan of my great Imam alayhi salam left from Medina, and the people came around him to tell him, Imam, don't leave. There was one person in that place who was who wanted the Imam to leave least she wanted him to leave out of everyone else who was desperate to keep him there. This person was most desperate. Fatima al-Alila, that sick Suhra. She was the one who was telling her father, don't go. He explained to her, this is what Allah requires from us. Father, if you must go, what about my brother Akbar? Leave him behind. No, my daughter. If we need to fight in the way of Allah, I will leave the able-bodied men. Okay, Father, then leave the 6 months. At least let him stay with me. He will not go to the battlefield. Suhra did not know the reality that was to come. From Medina, my Imam and his family traveled towards Mecca to perform the pilgrimage. Mecca. Do you know this place, what it is? The house of God. You know what Allah says about this place, this house of God in the Quran? He says, وَمَنْ دَخَلَهُ كَانَ آمِنًا. That whoever enters it should be safe. Whichever human being enters it should be safe. When his grandfather conquered Mecca, he said anyone who wishes to be safe should go to Kaaba. His grandson went to Kaaba and Yazid sent the people there to kill him. Everyone is safe at the Kaaba but the grandson of the Prophet. Who? The one that the Prophet was doing sajda towards the Kaaba. His sajda delayed. The companions asked him, "Oh Prophet, why did you lengthen your sajda so much from the prayer? We thought maybe you are receiving some wahi, that's why you didn't raise your head. We thought you have become sick and ill, that's why you didn't raise your head." He said, "No. Hussein was on my back." This grandfather, Prophet of Islam, done sajda towards Kaaba more because Hussein was on his back. Hussein is at the Kaaba and has to escape because they will kill him there also. He moves towards Kufa. We know the story of Hurr, and we will discuss his story in the nights to come. Hurr diverts the caravan towards Karbala. Imam's caravan is moving on the road. The horses become uneasy now. They don't want to go forward. What's happening now? Imam takes a deep breath. He picks up the earth from the ground and he smells. The hadith tells us he picks up the earth from the ground, he brings it to his nose and he smells the beautiful earth. He said yes. He asked the Banu Asad, what is the name of this place? They said it has many names. He said, give me the names. He said it is called this, it is called Al-Qama, it is called this. There are many names. And he said no, there is still more names. They said it is called Nainawa. He said still there is something further to this name. They said yes, it is Nainawa. وَهِيَ أَرْضُ كَرْبٍ وَبَلَاءٍ. He said yes. Allahumma inna na'udhu bika min karbin wa bala. This place's name is Karb and Bala. Oh Allah, we ask your refuge from distress is Karb and affliction is Bala. Abbas, pitch the tents here. This is where we will stop. Abbas, the brother, obedient brother of my Imam, made the tents next to the river. Umar ibn Sa'ad sent the army. Tell Abbas, move the tents from here. Abbas put his hand on his sword. Imam said, no. We will not be the ones who began this war. Move the tents, Abbas. Think about this for one moment. Abbas alayhi salam is being moved from the water. Just one generation before this, we had the Battle of Siffin, when the father of Yazid was there. And my Mawla Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam had control of the water. Everyone was drinking. Muawiyah sent the army and took that part of the water. Who did Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam send to free the water? Abbas and Hussein, you to go. They took back the bank of the water, and the companions, some of the companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam were saying, as they deprived of us of water, we now control the bank, we deprive them of water. Abbas said, the enemy of Islam, Abbas, will not deprive them of water. But the children of Hussein, the horses' hooves cannot stand still, they will not be deprived of water. The enemies and the animals will not be deprived of water, but the children of Hussein. Imam tells Abbas, move away from the water. Alas, it was written in the destiny that this water will not reach the camp. And Hussein and the companions of Hussein will die in the burning sand. Inna lillahi wa inna